Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to downtown Houston, the Toyota Center, as we are just about ready to get going. The Houston Rockets at 25-32, the Sixers at 28-28. Well, yes, indeed, Denver has been shopping around looking for a guy, and I think John's healthy now, and he can really add to their playoff push. Just didn't get the ball down in time. McGrady with a great fake on Iguodala, takes it to the basket for two. Iverson with the jumper from the wing. Allen Iverson averaging 33 points a game. And a delay of game called on the Sixers.
I'm not sure I like the black tights.
Kind of like those blue uniforms.
Oh, the blue uniforms are okay, but look at the black tights. It's a little bit too futuristic for me.
Now to Yao Ming working on Stephen Hunter. Goes baseline, turns one way, back the other and two. Hunter is in for a long night. I think Hunter's that good. Back to Hunter, and he slams it. He's pretty good when he gets all the way to the basket. Tracy gets a pick. Tracy takes it. T-back to the rack. Oh, what a move. With a little hop in his step. And the Rockets trail by a point. Juwan Howard, two of the Fab Five. Shot clock. Iverson to the middle. 10 years of going to the basket with utter disdain. He just throws his body in there.
He just keeps going. Oh, 170 of it.
Plays in the land of the Giants.
Kind of looks like a set play. Throw it off the backboard.
Iverson with a three, wide open there. He's had more looks already in this game than he had in Philadelphia.
Thank you. And we welcome you to Houston. What a game there in Tallahassee. And we get here just in time for a timeout. 19-17. Our score at this point, Philadelphia leading Houston. Jim Gray is along, Tim Legler as well. McGrady's opened up 2 of 4 from the field, 5 points. Meantime, Philadelphia, they're at 500. They're only 3 games out of the division lead. Allen Iverson is playing through illness tonight. Jimmy will talk about that in a second. He's opened up 4 of 7, and he's assisted on 3 of the 4 field goals the other guys have. Tim, I know it's as Iverson goes, so goes the Sixers. But right now, where do you assess his play? Second top scorer in the NBA.
I think the guy's had his second best year of his career. I thought last year was the best year of his career, and I think this is the second best year, even better than his MVP year with his consistency. His field goal percentage is up. He's not turning the ball over, not forcing as many shots. He seems to have a maturity now about his game as a leader.
Howard had 8, only 4 Rockets on the board through 1. Philadelphia, 1.22-21 lead here in Club City, which hosted the All-Stars just a couple of weeks ago. Quarter number 2 on NBA Wednesday when you come back to Texas.
Before you have a chance to react to the ball.
Iverson at the free throw line as much as anyone in this league. Van Gundy.
Threes, and the Sixers are going to continue to make those guys have to take those shots.
Yao on the roll to the goal from McGrady.
Allen Iverson deserves to be invited. Now, whether or not you think ultimately he's the guy that's supposed to be on this team, that you can incorporate him into a role.
Beautiful move by Iverson and a foul.
Which is what Team USA is trying to do now. They've changed the way they're going about the process. They realize that a glorified pickup team is not good enough anymore to go over and win international competition. They're going to build a team, much like you would an NBA roster, with role players, shooters and defenders and point guards, distributors, and then your star scorers as well. This guy deserves to at least have had an invitation to come and allow Mike Krzyzewski to see him in that setting. I think to have a preconceived notion that he's not a guy that's going to fit in when he's one of the top, arguably the top 5, 6, 7 players in the NBA, to me is kind of ridiculous. I think the guy deserves it. He's earned it.
And Iverson will take and make. 17 for Allen now. League averages in shooting 2s and 3s. As Iverson looks at McGrady, and All-Stars go at each other. Rebound by Matt Barnes, the former UCLA Bruin. McGrady leaked out for a run-out, left Iverson free. A mistake there by Tracy, and Jeff Van Gundy displeased with that. So good this half. They try to get McGrady going inside, and that's where all of Tracy's field goals have come. Good night of basketball here on ESPN HD, presented by Dish Network. That shot just a minute ago as you watch in HD. with Tracy McGrady and Allen Iverson, the two All-Stars, sitting on the bench before the third quarter starts. Don't see that every day. 47-45, Sixers on top with Jim Gray and Tim Legler, Mike Tirico. Well, we've talked about Allen Iverson, his ability to score for his size, one of the best, toughest little men in the NBA. And in the first half, we saw all of that Iverson on display one more time.
Well, you don't have the third highest career scoring average in NBA history unless you've got an ability to do it all kinds of different ways. And we saw all of it pretty much in the first half. Catch and shoot out to the three-point line off the nice penetration by Kevin Allen. You know about his step-back jump shot. He can take you off the dribble, create that mid-range game. One of the best in the NBA, probably the best small guard in the history of the league, getting to the rim and always willing to not only take contact, but in that case, throw a little elbow Yao's way to create some space. You gotta love that.
But all stars have to deal with, and we forget that just because you make a lot of money and you're supremely talented, as you see McGrady in action there, scoring the three-point play when he comes to the line. It's 5-on-4 for the moment. McGrady a triple. So Tracy McGrady, who puts up points as quickly as anybody, forces Mo Cheeks to take a timeout. We've seen the brilliance like that 13 points in 35 seconds against the Spurs in December last year. That beautiful feed to Yao Ming inside. You can see that McGrady, by getting that early one in this half, Tim, has become much more fully involved in the game.
Yeah, and that sets up other people now. The guy comes down and gets 3 straight shots to go. Anything he does by putting the ball on the floor is going to draw extra defenders, and Yao Ming's able to free himself up by running right to the rim, which is where you're supposed to go when you're a big guy.
Rafer Alston going all the way. Iverson beat him on one end, and Alston had a single-mindedness about returning the favor and getting it back. The New Yorker did. It's a 4-point Houston lead.
That is absolutely horrendous defense. When you allow a guy to score length of the court after you've just scored, it's really unheard of in the NBA. Rafer Alston took the ball to length of the floor and laid it in uncontested after he made basket by Philadelphia.
Last month or so. Hunter almost put that in. Yao got the rebound and add a board and a couple more points.
In Chinese society, it's best to let him heal alone and let the family heal alone. As we see McGrady on the basket right there, he said.
Was ever as passionately positive. We don't get to see him play all the time. We see different games. You read box scores and you wonder why his numbers aren't better sometimes. But Jeff Van Gundy's not concerned about that. Philly needs to create as much of an up-tempo as they can. And right now, T-Mac, he's just finally in that aggressive mindset right now. He can't wait to get his hands on the ball the next time. Van Gundy this morning, they would have pitched a shutout for a quarter probably.
They did miss 19 consecutive field goals as Iverson knocks that one down. Iverson getting to the line a lot in that game on February 6th. Longevity as McGrady goes in the lane and missed it. Iverson the rebound. Their ability to all hang this long in the league. You got Iverson. That beautiful move, and Allen Iverson has matched that single-mindedness of Tracy McGrady. 19 times has there been a college team that has sent 3 guys who were in school together for a couple of years. D'Alembert, the former Seton Hall product, has a chance to complete a 3-point play.
Rockets trying to hold off the Philadelphia 76ers charge.
Alston had 5 assists in the quarter. Houston leads by 4 in a game they've got to have. McGrady AI set to put on a fourth quarter show. That's right. The quarter begins with a miss from the outside by Bogans. Yao keeps it alive.
I think they're going to need to make a couple of those in the fourth because they're going to be packing the paint when Tracy McGrady comes back in the game.
Iverson, nice dump down to Barnes, almost freezing his elevation.
Some guys getting involved. Allen Iverson with the penetration. Matt Barnes right place at the right time.
The poise of Alston raise up at key times and not get into too much of a street game, let his emotions overtake him. D'Alembert, back from the ankle injury, knocks that one down. And 2 minutes into the fourth, we're all square at 80 apiece.
Yeah, you know, Jeff Van Gundy alluded to the fact that Rafer Alston kind of has that street mentality in a lot of ways. You know, he gets scored on, I'm going back at you. And with this team, that's not what they need. They need him to be a facilitator of the offense. And you saw Yao Ming right there establishing great position and catching that ball and finishing quickly at the rim. And Allen Iverson, sometimes better to be lucky than good.
Drilled in his head for so long that it's taken now 4 years to try and deprogram, if in fact it can be deprogrammed at all.
Bogans made both free throws. Iverson responds, getting to 32 points here. One of the knocks against him, we said it was a societal thing. Steal on the giveaway. Bad pass by Wesley. Iverson going right at him. Salmon cleans up on the lane. Poor offensive trip for Philly. They didn't move the ball. Houston did. And McGrady hit 3. guys are doing it. Yao blocked by Dallenberg. Iverson the push. Waiting for Korver, a three. His third of the quarter.
And right now you have Philadelphia's role players filling their roles. This is why Samuel Dallenberg gets $60 million to block shots.
Wesley, Iverson is bleeding. Here's some of Allen's physical play tonight.
You take a look here, creating the contact of Dikembe Mutombo, and ends up with a technical on that one because of the finger wave. And then take a look at this nice little elbow right to the breadbasket of Yao Ming as he gets to the lane and finishes that one in. One more time on Ray for Alston. Get that right elbow out there.
Unbelievable shot there. Allen Iverson able to get that ball to go down. The guy just has a knack for putting the ball in the basket.
Iverson was trying to use that headband to hide the bleeding so he could stay in and shoot these free throws here. I was going to get the opportunity to stop the bleeding momentarily as Kevin N. Johnson, the athletic trainer, looks at him. Meantime, we still have Wesley banged up as David's on the floor on the other side. Here's that contact again. And Allen checked, knew he was bleeding, and he kind of pulled that headband right back over it. So they may not catch it. Perhaps ever, given his stature. The guy who was a legend here for the Rockets and Calvin Murphy. There's David Stoudemire on that list. Heard Damon mention that when things so tough in Portland, maybe he can be the guy to buy the team from Paul Allen.
The teams in the league, one thing you can't have are unforced turnovers. You're on the floor, have good spacing, and get ready to knock down a shot if you get an opportunity.
Korver gets it to Iverson.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. One possession, no shot attempts. You've got to get attempts against Philly because they don't defend well and they don't secure defensive rebounds very well.
Iverson free throw line over Alston.
And you give that man an opportunity to get the ball in his hands one more time.
A chance to get 40 on a Van Gundy team. McGrady keeping his team in it with a three. Sports Center follows. Iverson cannot turn the corner, so takes it and makes it to take it to 40 points.
For my money, that's the man whose hands I want the ball on just about more than anybody in the league, maybe the exception of Kobe Bryant in this situation, because his quickness separates and creates enough space. He always gets a good look for himself, and he's been in this situation so many times, delivered time and time again. That man needs an Olympic invite.
You know what, Timmy, I was just thinking, I would not doubt, although Allen has been very classy about saying I wanted to be invited on the Olympic team, reportedly not one of the selections of USA Basketball. I'm sure that has sparked a little bit of a fire. Not that he needs it. He always plays with a fire and an intensity, and they had 10 assists to his 40 points here tonight.
Allen Iverson did say one other thing, guys. He's hopeful that an invitation could come in the next 2 years. In his mind, he hopes this is not a dead issue, that something can be revisited. He has no plans to talk to Jerry Colangelo. He doesn't know what Jerry's thinking, but he hopes that with his play, possibly this could be revisited.
McGrady comes off a screen and triples. Weber goes up over Yao, keeps it alive. They have to foul here. Korver, a good shooter, to Weber. And Yao tried to give the foul, didn't get it. Iguodala back to Salmons. This one's over. The Philadelphia 76ers have come into Houston after losing to Phoenix the other night, or rather to Dallas, have come and done the other half of this Texas trip with a very effective fourth quarter. With the win, Philadelphia 29-28. Houston drops to 25-33, and for the moment, 4.5 games out of the final playoff spot in the West. We'll be over on ESPN News for a recap of this game, and Jim Gray will talk with Allen Iverson. Our final score, 106-101. Steve Levy, Stuart Scott have Sports Center with #1 Duke losing, and big news in the NFL on the labor front. With Tim Legler, Jim Gray, Ed Fivishov, Mike Schwab, our producer and director, Mike Tirico. Good night from Houston. Here's Sports Center.